Happy Thursday, everyone. If you're listening to this when the content's at its freshest, or welcome whenever you are listening. Here we go with another episode of White Noise Cricket. Jonathan and Cam McFarlane back with you as we continue to build up to the best 7 weeks of the summer. It's not far away, but we do have a lot of, well, I say a lot of things to talk about. We don't really.
We've got some bits to talk about. There's not a huge amount this week. No. It always feels a bit odd when we've only got sort of 4 games to review, but it's the sort of the calm before the storm, I think, is probably the best way of putting it.
Yeah, it's probably right, to be fair. How are you, by the way, I should say, first of all, darling?
Not bad. Not bad at all, mate. We're just on to let the listeners in on a little surprise. We're on a restart here. We did start already, but for some reason, the social media managers thought it was a good idea to start the washing machine in the background. So we've had to restart. And I am, instead of in my usual spot, I am now on the sofa to record this one. I'm also wearing the wrong hoodie once again.
Well, that's because you're in darts mood, though. That's why.
Well, that is true. But I wore my White Noise Cricket hoodie when we did online darts content on Monday, and now it's got to Wednesday night as we're recording, and I've got my online darts hoodie on while we're doing White Noise Cricket stuff. It's just
because you're just mad. That's why. Because you like to mix it up. It's just because you're a crazy kind of guy.
I just love a bit of branding.
Yes, absolutely. Like you say, though, looking at it from this week in the One Day Cup, obviously we'll also touch on the first one day between England and New Zealand. The second one didn't happen. But, I mean, not really much has changed, I don't think. You know, it's only Warwickshire that have stayed close to Surrey, is essentially what we're looking at now. From where it was chaotic, now it looks like it's not potentially, unless something changes this week. That's where I'm kind of going to, as we're near the halfway point, don't forget, as well, of the One Day Cup.
Yeah, like you say, it's it feels a little bit less chaotic this week than it did last week. Everyone was very, very close together last week. That has changed a little bit, and we've seen a bit of a change as we come towards the middle of the competition almost. Yeah, where do we start this week? Where do we begin?
Well, I think we should start really in order. Start at the beginning, I guess. A very good place to start, as Mary Poppins once said. Or, sorry, no, not Mary Poppins. Julie Andrews did that. It was Maria, wasn't it, in The Sound of Music? So there we go. There you go.
Yeah, Mary Poppins was the one that was giving the children a spoonful of sugar as they all went nuts and jumped into the floor. I'm sure it was sugar that he was giving them.
Do you know what? She's not dead yet, so we have to say the word allegedly. That's kind of
we've got to allegedly it.
We've got to allegedly, even if it's a fictional thing, we've got to allegedly it. Let's go to the Oval. Let's start us off there. Essex against Surrey. Strange old game. This really strange.
It was very odd.
It wasn't the best of starts for Essex, to be fair. Maitland-Brown bowling Grace Scrivens, one of their best batters, especially now that Jodie Grewcock's out of the team. Gone for a first ball. See you later. Bang, see you later.
Yeah, not what you need. When you're, like you say, you've lost the top run scorer in the competition. And first ball, you lose one of your openers who's been getting them off to a decent start as it was anyway. But then, despite losing another wicket relatively soon, like they're 2 down for only 28 runs very early on, Cordelia Griffiths struggling to get anything sort of off square. Ariana Dowse came in at 3 and cracking knock, taking Jodie Grewcock's spot at 3 for them. 69 off 105, so not scoring quickly by any means, but doing what they needed at that point and giving them a platform to rebuild to a decent score.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, looking at her scores this season, obviously she's played in the last 3 games now for Essex. Looking at her scores, 43 against Yorkshire, 23 against Lancs, and then 69 against Surrey. Now, I'm not saying that's setting the world on fire, but it's still consistent. It's still reliable runs, I've got to say. You know,
yeah,
so
you'd certainly take that. If your number 3 is averaging, trying to do the maths in my head there on what she's averaging at that point. But if your number 3 is around that sort of level, like you're like I say, no real massive failures there. She got 9 at one point, but generally pretty solid. I think, you're going to be happy if number 3 keeps doing that.
Yeah, I think so. 100%. And then obviously, the big story in this innings, Florence Miller. Now, this is where we really need Rose on this point because obviously she has been involved with Essex for the majority of this season, and she's hit a couple of 50s already. Well, 49 if you want to be pedantic. Okay, fine, but 49 not 50.
No, not only going to be pedantic about it, but I'm also going to get the fine box out.
Well, she got a 49 not to be fair. So that's
She
there's
also
that.
got a 54 not, and obviously 74 not today. So in good form, it's got to be said.
Yes, absolutely. Really good start to the season for her. No one else really going apart from those two. So Essex bowled out. Oh, you didn't use up that last delivery. So fine for all of them, as we know.
Yeah,
because
you've got to make sure you're using them all up, especially with a run out to finish it as well.
Yeah, embarrassing. No, I'm joking, of course. Maitland Brown, 1 for 34 from her 9. Excellent figures. I mean, what else do we really say at this point for her? She's just been outstanding all season. 3 for Danny Gregory and 2 for Alice Monaghan. And then 2 for Priyans Chatterjee, who was obviously named in the Scotland squad for the T20 World Cup this week. And then she goes and basically wins the game on her own. Really?
Yeah,
You look at it, sorry.
Not wrong there whatsoever. Yeah, like I say, 2 for 37 with the ball, but then down the order, 37 off 38 when they were, let's be honest, in a lot of trouble at 150 for 7 with 20
Yes.
overs still to go and still needing 77 at that point, 78 at that point.
Yep.
Struggling, and it's a cracking knock along with Ailish Cranstone, who sort of supported her at the other end through that partnership of 79 to get them home with plenty of balls to spare as well.
I mean, let's also shout out Alice Monaghan as well, coming in at the top of the order, 49 of 67 as well, to get that sort of chase start. I mean, she went at 130 for 6 at that point though, so maybe obviously
look at it. I was going to say, you look at the comparison, don't you, at the start, and when they've lost the second wickets, they both lost the second wickets in that 10th over.
Yeah,
Essex had 28 on the board, and you had 47 on the board for Surrey. It's that strong start that just got them ahead of the rate straight away and gave them that opportunity.
But the big thing is as well is the biggest surprise to the whole thing: Danny White Hodge failing 1 off 7. What's she doing? Come on, get a move on.
I was going to say, yeah, you're not going to see many of those. That is the exception that proves the rule, I think, for Danny White.
100%. 100%. Save Monroe as well, 144 of her 9, 2 wickets apiece for Kate Copper, Eva Gray, and Sophia Smale. But in the end, Surrey getting over the line and stopping that losing skid. But I've got to be honest, from me a month ago saying that Surrey are the favs to reach the final, put them in already, this compo's done. I'm now looking at this going, Jesus, this batting lineup, man, it's fragile. If Danny White doesn't fight,
that's the thing. It's sort of gone to feeling fragile rather than feeling.
And I know they've lost players. I'm not saying, but everybody has. So I don't concede that argument. I don't have that argument
because they're not. Who are they really missing batting wise? They're missing
Capsy.
Yeah.
They're missing Kira Chatley. They're also missing TCC.
Batting wise, I knew you were going to throw TCC in there, but let's be honest.
Well, it's Capsy and Chatsy, isn't it?
If she has to bat a bit, you're struggling. However, she did get England over the line on Sunday.
Yes, yes, which we will talk about in a little bit, 100%. But yeah, so in the end,
Jesus Christ, that looked a long tail, didn't it?
Yes, we will touch on that a little bit in a second. But yeah, I think Surrey. The biggest problem for Surrey now is I think that they are just trying to go too hard too quickly. And I still think that what Rosa said a couple of weeks ago on the show is big thing. In 20 overs, that's absolutely fine. In 50,
I don't think they actually did it. Other than Bryony Smith, though, no one scored at above 100. So I don't think they actually did that here. I thought they tried to be quite sensible, and it still didn't work. Well, it did work because they got over the line. But not. It wasn't comfortable, and they were probably 1 wicket away from potentially getting rolled out.
Yeah, absolutely. But they didn't. They got a crucial win, a massive win. Stops as well Essex's winning streak 2. So Surrey move into third position. They'll stay in third position on 18 points. Now on to Wednesday's games. I don't like to do this, especially because it's a pod derby, but I think this was the game with the most drama in it. So I think we'll go to Southport first. Get it out the way for your sake as well. Oh, yeah.
Go on,
Yay!
Go on,
Warwickshire,
well
la
done.
la la. Yes. Congrats on the
Congratulations
win.
on your win.
Yes.
Makes you really happy.
No, do me a favour and get off my property.
Very much so.
I will say this though, genuinely, I thought this was an outstanding game of cricket. I thought it was a really, really good game of cricket. I didn't think we'd see one, to be honest, at the start of the
No,
day.
that's true. I'm starting to become concerned.
Okay.
Especially considering its lengths.
Yes.
That we seem to. I feel like every time we have a rain shortened game, we get beat. And that's not ideal for up here.
No.
Despite the fact that it never rains up here.
It never does. It never
No,
does. It was last night's rain that was the cause.
I just had to close the blinds before we started recording this so that you could see me because there was so much sunlight coming through.
Don't change the subject. Don't change the subject. Here we go.
I'm blaming the weather.
Okay. All right.
No, I'll be honest. It was a really good game. It was another strange game, to be honest. There were a lot of starts in this game.
That's what I was going to say. I thought that Lancashire innings, I thought watching it, I thought 226 on the board, 265. I thought, okay, it's slightly under par, but it's definitely you're in the game with that 100%.
Yeah,
I didn't
off 42. I think you're massively in the game there. Like
yeah, 100%. But the thing is like as you say, there was just there's a couple that got going. I mean, Eve Jones, 19 off 27, Severn Smell, 14 off 22, Throaks, 39 off 51 for her, Maddie Penner, 38 off 51, Fee Morris, 21, Elsa Lister, 27. The top 6 all started, but just could not, there wasn't anybody there to really go and play the big innings that would have essentially probably won you the game.
No, and that was it. And it's probably one of those where you're looking at Maddie Penner and Elsa Lister as the ones that are going to score probably quicker than anyone. And you kind of want one of them to just really come off and get you 50, 60. That's going to put you up to a score that becomes very, very difficult to chase at that point. And like I say, even some good batting from Crossy down the order as well, getting 30.
I thought she batted beautifully.
Yeah, really, really well.
Beautifully.
And like I say, it felt close at midway. It felt that it was a game where you didn't really know which way it was going to go. No. You didn't know it was going to get played, to be honest, let's be honest, for a long period. But once it did, you thought, you know what, this is pretty much 50-50 going into the second innings.
Yep.
But Murray Taylor's day, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, she gets 3 for 47 with the ball. Can we shout out Phoebe Brett, by the way? 2 for 35 off her 9, going at 3.88. And don't forget as well, there's 34 dots there in the 9 overs. So she's got, what's that? 54 out of 54. She's got 34 dots. That's the first thing. Secondly, then my maths is mathing for once on this show.
Yeah, that was not bad at all. That from you. You must have written that down before. You've got the margin there underneath, haven't you? Like.
You know me, mate, and you know the show. We never prep. But Phoebe Brett, can we chat out? Obviously, she's not even turned 18 yet. And don't forget as well, in the development game for the ECB, she took a miss shell against that New Zealand 11.
Yeah, she did.
So again, we've said it for a while, and Rose has been talking about her for a while as well. Keep Phoebe Brett on the radar because she's going to be very, very, very good. Yes. 2 for 38 as well for George Davis, 1 for Hannah Baker, and 1 for Karis Pavley. So good to see Georgia Redmayne. She's finally flown in. She's finally known where Edgbaston is. Good to see it, 100%.
But for good for everyone else.
Yes, absolutely.
In Birmingham, stay away as long as you can.
I've got to be honest, right? And I will straight this. I would say when Karis with another sensational knock, 63 off of 50.
Brilliant again. Like she's in such good form.
Such good nick with the bat. I genuinely, and I text you, and I'll happily say this. I text you, and I thought when Karis went, I thought that's the game because I knew Nat Wraith could get some quick runs because of what she did.
Good nick as well. I was very cautionary to you at this point of saying like Nat Rate scores a lot of runs very quickly. The game was you were up with the rate anyway, pretty much. Like I thought that you were still in a good spot because Mary Taylor can seriously bat as well. She's not a proper tail ender by any means, and there's a reason she's coming in at 8. Like she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, 100%.
And it was just a very good partnership, and I think it was in the balance still until the over from Fee Morris, where we went back to Fee Morris at that point for her final over, and you just went after her. Like it was a runner ball needed, I think, going into that over.
Well,
And
I was going to say,
by memory,
I was going to say quickly, I actually think the game was in the balance until Crossie's last over, because Mary Taylor just took her apart in that last over. I think she went for about 20 or something like that off that last over, maybe, or something like that.
No, that was the Fee Morris one.
Oh, was it Fee? Oh, sorry, I thought it was
that was the Fee Morris over. So Fee,
okay.
It went for plenty, and that's where it was a runner ball needed. So I think Crossie had just bowled the over before that, and then he went for 1 over from Fee Morris at that time, and it just didn't come off. It didn't work. Wet ball, it's tough. It happens, and both bats were set at that point as well. And it was just good batting all round, and there's not really much more I can say. I don't really think Fee did a massive amount wrong. It was just that was the opportunity, and that's where they decided to go, and it came off. There was a 6 in there, a 4, a 3. There was the runs all the way through, and it was just one of those days where you were the better side.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Mary Taylor again, 42 off of 27, some really, really, really quick runs. And again, like you look at it, and obviously, came over this season. She's got 30 already against Warwick, against Somerset. She's got 30 against Surrey, 15 not against Durham as well towards the back end of that innings. It's so massively vital. We saw that last year in the Blast, but it's so massively vital to have someone down the order who can get you quick runs. And we saw it actually with the Blaze against the Bears a couple of weeks ago. And we've seen Orla Prendergast. Again, I know she's not an 8. I'm not saying she is. Or Kirsty Gordon, for Christ's sake. How deep their batting is. It just makes it a lot easier. And particularly, and no disrespect, because I think both Hannah Baker and Phoebe Brett would say that they're not necessarily the best batters, but when they're both coming in at 10 and Jack, you are then looking to try and obviously make sure that they don't have to face a ball in a chase like that. So to do that with a game in the balance, I thought was outstanding from Mary Taylor. And she's been brilliant as well with the ball as well already this season. So really excited to see what she can do, continue going forward. Tara Norris going 242 off at 8. Kate Cross, 242 off at 7. You mentioned obviously the Fee Morris over. It was a couple of overs prior to that Mary Taylor hit Kate Cross for about 18 off that over. So it was another huge over there for her, which again, I think swung the balance there to a point that it was just a little bit too far. I think Lancashire, the momentum had shifted. The momentum is real, as we always said in sport. Grace Potts bowled pretty well as well, 1 for 38 from her. And Grace Johnson got a little bit of tap, as you say as well. Fee Morris as well, 0 for 31 off a 7. But Warwickshire getting the W. Move on then we're going to York. We're going to Clifton Park, I think, next. Because the other game was just as dull as dishwater because we knew what was going to happen. But Hampshire travelling up to, do you know what? I haven't got a chance to play the clip yet.
I sometimes go over to Yorkshire just to make myself feel better about my life. And then you get on the M62 and you go home and you think, you know what? I'm the luckiest man in the world.
Hampshire will be feeling better about their lives on the way home tonight, I suspect.
They will.
Well, absolutely. Will they be going home, though? Or will they be going straight to Nottingham? That's another big question, which we'll come on to in a minute. But, because obviously,
What day did they play?
Friday. So, there'd be no point for them going all the way back to Hampshire.
Sense to go to Nottingham.
But it's
to stay in York for a bit.
Yeah, but it's cricket, though, isn't it? And cricket's not a sport that makes sense, as we've always often
said. No, we don't apply logic to cricket. That would be ridiculous.
No, correct. This was an innings that was very stop-start, a bit of rain up in Yorkshire. And then McCagan continuing on some decent form as well, 51 off of 68. Rihanna Southby as well, 31 off of 36. Good to see Georgia Adams back. Love to see it. She's back in the long. Well, she's back. She is back. She played, obviously, in the game at Edgbaston. Didn't get a bat because obviously it was rained off there. So maybe she's the jinx. I don't know. Maybe because it's another game where there's been rain affected. This one actually got played, but the only other game she's played in this season is the one where it was rained off. So there you go.
You see George Adams approaching a cricket ground. Get a brolly out. Is that what we're saying? Is that where we're going?
I think so. I think so. 100%. Seska Squeak, by the way, 50 off of 57. Very, very good stuff. I've said for a while now, she's some talent. I saw her in the when I was doing the school games a couple of years ago, and I remember messaging you going, "There's a couple of real talents we need to watch out for." Yeah. Seska Squeak being definitely one of them. Her maiden 50 for Hampshire as well, so very, very good stuff from her. But I think this game was won really thanks to the bat of AJW. Those runs towards the bottom end of that innings, 41 off of 27, to get them up to 205 for 7, were just vital. Absolutely vital.
Yeah, it made a massive difference, and it just put that extra little bit of pressure on. That, like, it was still a score that you felt again in the balance. Like, you wouldn't have said they were ahead, but it just got them to a point where they'll have gone in with that extra bit of positivity and thinking, you know what, we're right in the game here.
Jess Johnson back. By the way, good to see her back. And just another 3 wickets for her, by the way. 3 for 24 from her 8. We get an average of 12 this season. Ludicrous.
Gets back to the top of the wicket-taking charts.
Yep, she is joint top now alongside Alex Griffiths of Somerset, which will come on to Somerset in a minute. But again, I mean, just the average is just ludicrous. Going at an average of 12 is ridiculous. Inez Blackwell as well, getting a wicket as well, 1 for 39. So did Beth Langston and so did Maddie Ward. So on to the Yorkshire batting then. And it was another good start. I mean, it was very, very similar in terms of starts from them two. Because obviously, Rana Southby went at 62 for 1 after 12.2. Georgie Boyce went at the end of the 13th over when it was 63 for 1. But then I think the crucial thing here was that Lauren Winfield Hill pretty much went straight after 2 balls later. She was gone. AJW gets the wicket. And from there, and then the biggest moment was Jess Jonathan going pretty much a few overs later. She was gone only for 7 with the runs that she's been getting this year. And it's just massive moments like that turn games, I think.
Yeah, and that was the worry, because realistically, they were still sort of ahead at that point. Like, if you look at where the 3rd wicket fell for both teams, like 76 for 3 when George Adams goes for Hampshire in the 18th over, and then 19th over, 78 for 3 for Yorkshire. They were still slightly ahead. But like you say, we've said it a lot. And so I said it, Jess Johnson can't keep doing it every single game. And at some point, somebody else is going to have to step up and do it. And on this occasion, nobody was able to do it. Like, the good runs for Sturk Alice again. Bit of runs for Beth Langston down the order and Grace Hall, but it was too little too late at that point.
I mean, looking at Stair, she's only had I'd say only really one failure. She only had one single digit score all summer long, which is just like, I mean, I've said for a while, how good she is and how good she was last year for the Bears, in particular in the Blast. So, still a really, really good knot from her, 46 off 60. But as you mentioned, in the end, Yorkshire 196 for 8, Hampshire winning by 16 runs via the Duckworth Lewis Stern method. 2 wickets of Bex Tyson, 2 more for Naomi Ditani, 1 for Georgia Adams, 1 for Amanda Jade Wellington as well, 1 for 31 off her 8. Just ridiculous control again. 8 going at 3.87 there, ridiculous. And as well, 1 for Poppy Tulloch as well. Tulloch getting that crucial wicket of Jess Jonathan, 1 for 15 from her 3. So, final game to look at then, and I hate to use the phrase, but it was pretty boring. Boring. Like, was anybody surprised at this and the way
No, I don't think so. I think it was one of those where Somerset were going to have to get off to a good start, and they lost both openers for combined 9 runs off 19 balls. It's not the start that you want. 2 for 18.
But it's Charlie Phillips again, though, isn't it? It's Charlie Phillips, and it's Charlie Phillips and Grace Ballinger again at the top. What have we said all summer so far? It's them two at the top, completely stifling them. And Charlie Phillips is now, by the way, she's gone to 14 wickets now this summer, an average of 15. Well, especially when you're bowling towards the top end of the order, when you're supposed to be involved in the power play, that's brilliant. That is absolutely
very impressive. And then obviously, what a knock by Annika Leroyd, by the way. Like,
got to be fine though. It's got to be a fine.
Well,
has to be.
I don't know. Do you get a fine for getting out? I mean, you get a fine for being not out in the 90s. I think
you've got to turn up there.
Going for it. Yeah, I think that's all right. I think that's fine.
All right, okay.
But yeah, I think it's
fine.
been a good pickup, I would say.
Massively great pickup.
Excellent so far. Like runs in every game. I think the worst she's got was 12 in one game, but she's sort of constantly picked up runs and dragged them up to scores that gave them a chance. And a bit of help from Jess Hazel again in the runs, and Alex Griffiths got them to a reasonable score, but it was one that you felt was way short when you look at this Blaze team that they're coming up against.
Yeah, Orla Prendergast as well, 1 for 29 off her 6. Charlie Phillips in the end finishing 2 for 33. Grace Ballinger 1 for 39 off her 9. Catherine Bryce 1 for 33 as well, getting that big wicket of Annika Leroyd too. I think that was crucial. Maybe I know they absolutely pissed home the chase, but if Annika Leroyd stays there, for the final few overs, they get up to 250, 260, and then they're right in the game. So big wicket that. Lucy Hyam as well, 0 for 27 off her 6. And Kirsty Gordon, again, just showing why she's one of the best players in women's cricket, 2 for 37. Nobody going over 5 and over for the Blaze, which is just absolutely ridiculous, especially when you've got that ground at Exmouth as well, which is quite short. I thought that was
not only that, but when they spread it between 7 bowlers as well, and it's still not 100%. Even one of them's got a bit of tap is impressive.
I'll tell you what's not impressive. Tammy Beaumont. That is a fine.
See, I'm not sure who we're finding here. Because Tammy Beaumont's hit her last ball for 4.
Yeah.
And they've gone into that final over needing 3 to win.
Yeah.
Sarah Bryce has hit the first ball for 4. That's you can't be doing that to Tammy Beaumont. You've got to nudge it for 1 and let her get 100.
I don't know. Maybe just find them both 50% of whatever you want to do.
Yeah, they can pay half of it each. Sarah Price was on.
Everybody gets a fine.
That's it. You get a fine. You get a
fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. I'm with that.
49 not out at this point. Then I've kind of say 47 not out at this point. I'm kind of all right with it.
No, I'm not. No,
but she was 7 not out. So you've got to just take the single at that point. Unless she's accidentally nicked it for 4, and I haven't seen the final delivery of this game, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But you've got to just nudge 1 there and let Tammy get 100.
Yeah, but what a knock, though. 99 of 100.
99 not out of 109 deliveries. Carried her back through. Cracking knock from George Elwes alongside her as well. And like you said, he got there so easily in the end.
Yeah, George Rell was 72 off of 76. The Blaze, they needed 3 from their 50 overs. They did it with 10.5 overs to spare. Ridiculous. I mean, the bowling figures, to be fair, I don't think the bowling figures are that bad. I just think the Blaze were just the better side, to be fair. And we've said this about Somerset, obviously. The lack of their England players is really hurting them. And we said that might happen, obviously. But still, it's still a very, very, very comfortable win for the Blaze. Yeah. It's ludicrous. Alex Griffiths getting 147. That takes her back as well. Joint top of the wicket charts this summer so far in the One Day Cup. Chloe Skelton getting a wicket. Lola Harris getting a wicket as well, as is Jasmine Wesley as well getting a wicket there too. Good to see, by the way, because that's her first game for Somerset. So she managed to get a wicket on debut as well. So very, very good indeed for her. But yeah, like we say, it was just a very, very comfortable win for the Blaze, which means that they are still top of the pile on the Wednesday of the One Day Cup, on the Metro Rank One Day Cup Tier 1. The Blaze have played 7, won 6, lost 1. The net run rate's ridiculous. They've already got 28 points. They are flying along, and I think they are down to do faffs. But I can't say that because obviously I already look like a moron, and I can't really change my pick now. That's how it works.
You've got your team. Your favourites are already there. You can't be changing them at this point.
Correct. Hampshire is second. Played. The undefeated. Only undefeated. Oh no, they're not. Of course, they're now the undefeated side. Because obviously Lancashire beat them last week. But they have played 7, won 5, lost 1, and 1 no result. 23 points for them. So the top 2 meet at Trent Bridge on Friday. We will preview that in a second or two. Surrey then come third on 18 points, having played 7, won 4, lost 3. Then come Warwickshire, played 7, won 3, lost 3 with 1 no result. I tell you, and I keep saying it, that chance to not defend 354 against Hampshire might come back to bite them this summer. I think it might do in this competition.
Yeah.
Then
I've just tried to look back and see what happened with the final delivery of the Somerset game. However, they had serious internet issues down there. And there are 5, 6 separate stream videos. So on there because it kept breaking. And the final one ends just before the final delivery is balled.
Brilliant.
So we will never know what happened with that final delivery, but I'm still finding Sarah Bryce for it.
Yeah, fine. Like I say, fine them both. I ain't got an issue with that. 50% each of the fine. So there we go. Going back to the table, Somerset themselves are in 5th place. They have got 13 points, won 3, lost 4 from their 7 games. Yorkshire have won 2, lost 4, and of course had that 1 tie with Durham. They are on 12 points. Essex are the only side that have actually already played all their 8 games in this opening block of the comp. They've won 3, lost 5. They're on 12 points. Then come Lancashire on 10 points, won 2, lost 5, but still have the 3rd best net run rate in this competition.
Yeah, ridiculous. But also, like, let's be fair, we have been shite. So and that's me putting it nicely.
Yes. Go on.
We are by no means out of this whatsoever.
I wouldn't say anybody's out of it at the moment. Not with the way that Surrey are batting.
That's what I mean. Like, it's still wide open. So all you have to do is just get on a bit of a run in that second half, and you never know.
But the thing is, as well, is that how it works for you, quite simply, is you either win by a bonus point or you lose a close one. That's literally how it works.
That's why we've got to think we're still definitely in it, because a couple of bonus point wins and we're
flying along again. Absolutely.
Coming home where it is already.
Well, let's see what happens on that one. Durham, by the way, our bottom, played 7, won 2, lost 4, 1 tie. They are on 10 points. So before we preview the next set of fixtures, the final set of fixtures in this block, a very, very quick look back on the England versus New Zealand first one day. I was going to say the second one there as well, but that has been abandoned without a ball being bowled at the county ground in Northampton. I am shocked. Having been there myself, I'm stunned.
I tell you what, if there's one place you do not want to be, if it is wet, cold, windy, it is the county ground at Northampton, because it is a cold old place at times.
It really is.
And there's not a lot of shelter.
No, absolutely not. So I think they had to abandon it, to be fair, because it was one of those annoying days in the UK where it was obviously sunshine for a lot of it, but the showers, if you call it a shower, my God, it absolutely hosed it down.
And absolutely battered with hailstone up here for half of the day, and then the sun's out and it's bright again. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't do that tomorrow, because I am on the golf course tomorrow. And if I get hailstone on tomorrow when I'm on the golf course, I'm going to be an angry little man.
It's a fair point. I mean, you are a little man most of the time, so being an angry little
always
man,
a little man, but an angry one especially.
Yes. Going on then to this game between New Zealand and England up at Durham, a really good game of cricket. I mean, it was a bit slow, don't get me wrong, but it was a very good game of cricket.
It was a good game of cricket. It was a very close game of cricket, and like I say, there were. I think it was probably a total that England will think they should have got a lot easier.
Yes,
100%. They bowled excellently. Like wickets shared around everywhere. 2 for Belly.
Everybody got a wicket.
DCC, Lauren Fowler, Danny Gibson, Charlie Dean, and Geordie Grewcock all chipping in with wickets as well. Sorry, 2 for Charlie Dean as well. Done her a disservice there. So yeah, wickets all shared around and a run out to finish it off. Very, very happy with 211 to chase at halfway.
Can we just say, by the way, sorry, just going to say very, very quickly, shout out to Melly Kerr, 55 of 82, and Maddie Green as well, 88 of 107. That partnership was fantastic to
that's
get
the
them
only
into
reason
the
they
game.
had any sort of competitive score on the board, let's be honest.
But also brilliant to see TCC on international debut getting a couple of wickets. I mean,
Yeah.
we got the one that Danny Gibson caught off of Matty Green. That was a bit of an interesting one, 100%. I think Matty Green was be very disappointed that she didn't deposit that into the pavilion. But hey, doesn't matter. It goes down as a wicket.
You know the rule. Shit takes wickets.
Correct. Shit does take wickets. England, though. Jesus. That batting lineup is
really
fragile.
I was going to say, they really struggled to get going. And I really like that opening partnership. I think Emma Lamb and Jodie Grewcock's a great way to start off.
I'm not so sure. There's no point putting Grewcock at the 2 if she plays at 4 for most of the days at Essex. That's the only thing
way, isn't it? It's very much.
Well, it is true.
The test squad that just got announced today is very much the England way to
very much the England way
that doesn't open at any other time.
Yeah.
But I just think like having a right-hander and a left-hander at the start, which I think is possibly part of the reason as well. Yeah. And let's be honest, Jodie Grewcock half the time for Essex ends up in the first couple of overs anyway.
It's a fair statement. It's a fair statement. Nobody hearing Grace Gibbons, isn't it? Let's be honest about it.
Both of them struggled. Like Lammy's not played a lot this year so far.
No,
and it looked like it showed a little bit. There was a bit of rust there, and Jodie Grewcock first time turning out for England it's always difficult, isn't it? And it didn't help that Jess Kerr and Brie Ealing bowled excellently at the start as well and didn't give them anything. There's no sort of like there are no deliveries where you just go, just get my hands through that and get a boundary and just feel a little bit better. Like everything was tough early on.
Yep.
Heather Knight came in, struggled as well, 19 off 30, but then good partnership between Maya Boucher and Freya Kemp put us ahead of the game. And then it was just down to them to not cock it up, basically. And they tried. They tried the best.
Collapse. It was some collapse, wasn't it? 110 for 3 to 201 for 9. Very, very good collapse. Good effort.
Yeah, and we sort of mentioned this about Surrey, that having TCC facing more than, any balls, to be honest, is not particularly conducive to winning games. However, she managed to stick it out there with Charlie Dean to get them over the line and help what is a very long tail, like we say. Like Lauren Bell is not a number 9.
She batted well, though. There was a couple of balls that she actually smoked. I was like, wow, go on, Belly.
Yeah, there were a couple of balls in there that were nice, but let's be honest, you don't want her facing 27 deliveries very often.
No, you absolutely do not.
But they got home and they managed it.
Yes, that's all that matters. But Maya Boucher, by the way, 59 off of 69. We saw, obviously, her match-winning knock against Somerset last week and thought it was absolutely outstanding. And it's great to see that she's carried that form over into one-day cricket. So that's good. Obviously, New Zealand's bowling very, very well as well. Jess Kerr getting a wicket, 1 for 41 off her 10. Brie Ealing as well, 1 for 31 off of 9.2. Rosemary Mayer bowled outstandingly, 3 for 42 off her 10. Nancy Patel as well getting a wicket, 1 for 34. And then Melly Kerr as well, 2 for 54 off her 10. So again, the wicket's completely shared around.
Just say something with confidence here and people will believe it. Is this the only ever one-day international where every single bowler took a wicket?
It's a decent shout.
I'm going to say that it is. It is the only ever one-day international game where every bowler took a wicket.
I'm sure we'll get people saying that you're wrong next week.
Well, they can say it if you want, but I said it with enough confidence that people will believe it.
Yeah, why not? Why not? But yeah, like you say, Charlie Dean.
You need research when you can just say it with confidence.
Correct, 100%. But Charlie Dean, as you say, great knock as captain, 31 off of 46. Really, really good stuff. My big thing is that are we just not playing are we just not going to bother playing Sophie Eck? Why would she not play for Lancs?
I don't know. Maybe they're just.
It makes no sense to me. Unless they're doing it.
A couple of games off before the T20 start. Like they want.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe that
World Cup and just. She doesn't need to be bowling 10 overs a game. Let's be honest. Like at this point, like get to the T20s, getting the ball 4 overs at a time. She'll be ready for the World Cup. She'll be good to go.
I'll say this though. I'm very glad that they are playing these ODIs. I did think, why the hell are we not playing 5 T20s? But I'm very glad we are playing these ODIs, because if we haven't played competitive cricket for months, so since the last 50 over World Cup, to at least have some competitive cricket before we go into a T20 block and then into a home World Cup. Can you imagine if that was the first T20 against New Zealand and they were batting like that? Yeesh.
Yeah, you'd have been worried, but then again, it would have been a very different batting lineup as well, I think,
Yep.
if it had been.
Yep.
So, yeah, they're not. That's why I think it's a bit of an odd series to be having, because, let's be honest, half of these players aren't going to play.
Yeah, no, I get that 100%. But big win, obviously, for England in terms of the fact they've got to win.
If it rains again, then that's a series won. Happy days.
Well, it is at Cardiff on Saturday.
Dig in and play for the nil. Dig in and play for the 1-0. It is the Arsenal way.
It's true, but also as well, they are playing again. Like I said, they are going to Cardiff on Saturday.
It always rains.
The chances are, it always rains. Yeah, so chances are of that happening are very, very safe again. But that was on Saturday. We have also got 3 games in the One Day Cup to have a look at on Saturday, and one on Friday, where it's
the last ones until the middle of June.
Yes,
break in the One Day Cup.
Yes, but what a way to finish it on Friday! I can't wait for this. Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be
nicely teed up, this one, isn't it?
Cracking game, this. Blaze against Hampshire.
That's it. The battle for who tops the table. Hampshire are going to have to win the bonus point and a good net run rate to do it, but there is the potential that they can go into the break top of the table.
Yep, absolutely. They won't, though, because the Blaze win. That's just a fact, I'm afraid. I think, I don't get me wrong, Hampshire playing really well.
But 5 on the bounce at this point, haven't they?
They don't lose at Trent Bridge very often.
Hampshire have only lost one, although it was an absolute pummeling against a fantastic Lancashire side.
You had to get that
only won 2 games all season. What do we think?
Blaze win. Like, move on. Like, the Blaze are, at the moment, right now, form says that the Blaze win. They are at home. And I'm not saying the Hampshire aren't any good. They obviously are. But when you're in doubt, you pick the home team. And I'm not even in doubt on this one. I think the Blaze comfortably win this game. And there's a big gap.
Yeah, but
and I think
there is one thing you have missed out from your analysis there.
Go on.
The One Day Cup is drunk.
Yes, but it's starting to sober up.
Hampshire win with a bonus point and go top of the table halfway.
I like it. I like the confidence, my friend. I really do. Okay, 3 games.
It would be nice though, as well, to go in with both on 28 points rather than a 10-point game top for the Blaze.
Yeah, 100%. But you know,
yeah, I'm gonna go with what I want to see.
I mean, I want a moonwalk, son, but life's a shit house. So there we go. Yes, let's go on to Saturday's games then. Let's get the game out the way at Chester-le-Street. Not because it is impactful, of course it is still, because they're not
everything's still impactful at this point. It's wide open.
But let's go to Durham-Somerset then, because this is an interesting game. I honestly think that Durham have played better than what they've shown. Than the point. I know the table doesn't lie, and you are what your record is and all that, but I think that Durham have played better than what they have got out of it so far. So at Chester-le-Street,
we say this a lot about Durham, though. We said it a lot last year.
Yeah, but
at some point, I just think you got to start winning matches,
and I think they do in this one. I mean, I'm going to go for a home win, because I think Somerset, without their England stars, I think they are a completely different side. And I think that Durham win.
But I think they've been fighting on well still, and I think they might just nick it. So I'm gonna go the other way. We're splitting the predictions here. We cannot be blamed for any results so far.
I don't think we're going to be splitting the next one though, at the Oval.
Oh,
Surrey against Lancs.
Surrey win. Lancashire are bobbins.
Are you serious?
What?
Are you serious? You really believe that Surrey are going to win this game?
Yeah.
You are mental, man. Mental.
You've been watching this Lancashire side.
I have. And I've also been watching this Surrey batting lineup. And I've watched that Lancashire bowling lineup. And that Lancashire bowling lineup could tear Surrey apart. And I think they will.
I'd love to see it. But we won't.
I'm stunned that this is probably the first time in nearly 4 years of doing this pod that you have gone against Lancashire. Apart from the one where you...
I've done it a few times.
It's like you are like the Mark Lawrence in Liverpool. You really are. I think there's only been one occasion already. I think actually, though, to be fair, you did pick Hampshire to beat Lancs and they lost. So is that why you're picking Surrey again? I've got it now. I've got it now.
There is method to the madness. Method to the madness.
Well, I picked Lancashire that time, and I'll pick Lancashire again. I think that you'll beat them at the Oval. I really do. So there we go. Finally,
and we're going to split another one now because
why?
Surely you're going to pick Yorkshire in this next one.
Yeah, 100% I will.
Are you?
Yes, I'm picking Yorkshire.
You're drunk now.
No, I'll tell you the reason why, and this is twofold really. I still think, obviously, the loss of Alexa Stonehouse being called up to the one-day squad is massive. Obviously, if Caris comes in for Saturday's game, I don't know whether she will, but obviously she was, on the fringes of the squad too. We haven't got Izzy Wong. We haven't got Emma Lot. We haven't got Alexa Stonehouse. I think the bowling's pretty light. Like, that isn't me knocking Mary Taylor and George Davis and everybody else on there. But I think, obviously, with Izzy Wong and with Emma Lot and Caris as well as an option, the bowling attack looks better. We haven't got Davina as well. Davina isn't playing. Well, wasn't playing today. So so she might not be playing again on Saturday. And obviously Yorkshire have got arguably the best two bats in terms of form in the country. Jess Jonathan, yes, she had a failure today, but she's still been absolutely outstanding. And she's been brilliant with the ball. And Stir Callis has been, again, one of the most reliable bats so far in this competition. I think it's pretty cut and dry. I think Yorkshire win.
All very fair points that you make. Yeah, they've still only won 2 games, despite having people doing that, which shows that the rest of them are not doing enough. And I think they don't do enough again. And I think you win.
Wow. So I picked Lancashire and you picked Warwickshire to win.
Yeah, it's nonsense. Like we are also
this competition. Drunk. Yes, this competition is definitely drunk. Well, on those bombshells, I think we should end quickly before we say anything more stupid. Before we go, though, just to let you know that next week, this pod is going drunk again. This pod is going very drunk because Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we will have Vitality Blast men's previews coming out. We will have the North group, the Mid Wales West group, and the South group all across the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, where we'll give our predictions. We'll give our predictions as well on that final pod on Wednesday on who we think the men's Vitality Blast champions will be. On Thursday, we will then have a look back at the One Day Cup. We will then also have a look back at round 2 of the Vitality County Cup as well, which is on this weekend. And we will also have a women's full Vitality Blast Tier 1 preview. We are hoping, fingers crossed, if the dates and times work, that we'll be joined by Rosa, who will be coming back to join that with us. That'll be out on Thursday. And then Friday week, 8 days to go until the best 7 weeks of cricket in the year.
We are nearly there. It is upon us.
Oh, I can touch it now. It's like Christmas. It really is. We will then have everything covered.
You can roll your line back out to finish the show again, which I feel like every week you almost say it and then you go, no, I have to say something different.
Yes, that's exactly it. But yeah, no, I can't wait. I can't wait. Obviously, we'll have everything covered for the men's and women's blast. We will be there. We will be there at every grounds across the country. We'll be covering as much of it as we possibly can. I can't tell you when we're going to be doing podcasts off the back of that from the first night of the blast. We'll try and do something because Cameron will be in London for the Oval. We'll be watching Surrey against Lancs. I will probably be back here. And then I think we're going to be meeting up in Glammy. I don't know yet. We might be meeting up in Cardiff for Saturday night.
I'm in London for that first night.
Are you not now? You go to Somerset?
No, I'm not going anywhere.
Superb!
I'm working. There's not very little chance of me making it from finishing work at 4:30 to get to
fair enough
to the Oval in time.
In that case, then we'll have
considering that if you try and get to the Oval by car, it takes you 3.5 hours to go the final mile.
True. It's a fair point. So that means then we'll have a podcast recording then here for you on that Friday, on the opening night. We're then hopefully going to be meeting up in Glammy on Saturday in Cardiff. Things till to be determined on that. And then Sunday, I believe Cameron and the social media manager will be joining me at Edgbaston for the first double header
no
of the
idea.
season.
Not a clue at this point.
No idea.
But yeah,
No idea. Could be. We don't know. But we will sort that all out. We'll have an off-air management meeting for once. But we can guarantee you this. Next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 pods are coming out. And then on Saturday as well, on the 23rd, we'll have an opening night review as well. Can't bloody wait. So please, please, please join us for that. Tell your mates about us as well if you haven't already done so at White Noise Cricket across the socials. We're going to be with you throughout the complete Vitality Blast season for both the men and the women. Will also be here throughout the one-day cups. We'll be here throughout the county cup as well. And of course, we'll be here for the 100 as well in July and August. So tell everybody that you know, if you want to hear everything about white noise cricket and white ball cricket in this country, come to us. But from Cameron, from a fantastic social media manager, Rachel, and myself, Jar, we hope you have an amazing week, and we'll speak to you earlier than normal. We'll speak to you again on Monday with the start of our Vitality Blast previews. See you in a bit. Goodbye.